So now we're going to practice arithmetic sequences, which means the lists. Like sometimes we're given the list, sometimes we need to make the list or find certain parts of the list. And this is the formula that you use. It is on your formula sheet. It's at the bottom, and they even tell you what each thing stands for. But I'm going to write it up here so that we get used to it. Okay? The A sub n is the term that we want to find, or that we're finding, the term that we know. Okay? A1, well, that little 1 means that that's the first term. Okay, so that's the very beginning of our list. N stands for our number of terms. So do we have a list of 5 terms or a list of 8 terms? How many numbers are in our list, okay? And then the D we were using earlier, and that stands for our common difference. So that number that is being added or being subtracted, whether it goes up or whether it goes down, okay? So that is what each thing stands for. Again, that is on your formula sheet. I'm going to leave it like that while we do this problem. I'm definitely going to have to erase it for the next problem, but that way you have an idea of what everything stands for, okay? So this says, find the 18th term if A1 is 7 and D is 8. Okay, well, the nice thing is that we already know some of these and we can figure out what the other ones are. So normally what I do is I just list all of the parts of the formula, AN, A1, N, and D. So we decide the 3 things that we know and then we find the third one. So it says AN, well, we're not sure of that, so let's go A1. It does tell us that it starts at 7, and it says that the difference is 8, so it goes up by 8, okay? And then it says the 18th term. Well, that means that we want to find, we're going to go out 18 terms and find that last one, that 18th term. So that means that our number of terms is 18. We're going to list our numbers all the way out to 18, and this is what we're going to find. Now, we actually don't have to list it. We don't have to start at 7 and then add 8 and then add 8 and then add 8 and add 8 and add 8 and add 8. You don't have to do that. You could all the way out till you get to the 18th number. But really, that's what the formula is for. So I'm just going to plug these numbers into the formula. We're looking for A sub 18 because that's what we're trying to find. Remember that N stands for 18. So then it says start with the first term, so that's 7 plus the parentheses 18 plus 1. And excuse me, I thought that when I was going through it, it is a minus 1. So when I was writing it down, I was like, wait a second, that doesn't quite match. Okay, so it is a minus 1, sorry. And then we're multiplying the difference, which is the number 8. So literally, if you can decide on 3 numbers out of the 4 parts of the formula, then you can get it. We can literally just plug this straight into our calculators. So I'm just going to put in 7 plus parentheses 18 minus 1 times 8. Okay? If you want to do it a little bit by hand, you could say 17 times 8. I would still kind of just put most of that into the calculator, and if I add 8, starting at the number 7, and I add 8 over and over and over and over and over again, the 18th number will be 143, okay? So, but instead of listing them, we just use the formula to find that out, okay? All right, so we can do the same thing again with this one. It says, find the 100th term. So let's go through and let me move this over just a little bit. AN, because that's the beginning of the formula, the first term, the number of terms, and the difference, okay? So it says find the 100th term. Well, that means we're going to have 100 terms. We definitely don't want to write 100 numbers, okay? Of this list. So it's going on and on all the way up to the 100th number, or the 100th term. But we need to figure out the rest of these. Well, we know that it starts at -3. So the first term is negative 3. And we can also find the difference by asking ourselves, how much are we going up? Well, this is going up by 5 each time. So that means the difference is a 5, just like we were doing earlier in the page. We were asking what it is, and now we can actually use it. So again, we're looking for the value of the 100th term. So that means that a sub 100, what is the value of the 100th term? I'm just going to plug it in. The first term is negative 3 plus 100 minus 1 times the difference. Okay, we're just plugging it into the formula. If you want to do a little bit by hand, that's really just 99 times 5. All right, again, negative 3 plus 99 times 5. Well, if you go out 100 numbers, the value you would get is 492. Okay? So that is just going through and practicing, deciding what 3 parts do you know, and then finding the others. Well, you could be given other parts, and so that's what we're going to do with number 10 and number 11, all right? So I'm going to scroll so we have a little bit more room, but we are going to refer to the same formula, okay?